Have some interesting breakdown today. It's in a dark place. It's not so much light here, but breakdown is we have some canvas errors. This is Hr21 hybrid machine, and then we're having some canvas related error codes, and we have some fuses melting or popping. I'm not sure. I haven't tested it yet, so we're gonna do it together and then see what we can find. So the machine is off at the moment, or the key switch is on, but the isolator is pushed in there. So I'm gonna switch that off, and I'm gonna pull the isolator out. Just want to see what is happening here. So let's start together. Okay, that's a lock. Okay, so that's a lock symbol on the machine. The PLC is flashing green. So that seems like it's shouldn't be the canvas error. We have a beeping because there's a cage PLC. Let's see what the cage is doing. Okay, so in the cage we have a comms error. Oh, that's interesting. Because in the cage we have a comms error, but at the base we have a lock. So that's two different things. So you would get this error if that display is not communicating with the canvas. You would be getting this error. So I wonder, that e-stop is out now, so I wonder what's actually happened here. So it's interesting the way it's failed, because you can see the machine is telescoped out a bit. So it was going and tele out, and then possibly it's failed, and the cage lost. I'm suspecting this cage lost the canvas communication. It's just that's, oh, look at this, now it's actually the same error at the base. Okay, so that's a good. And the PLC, look what the PLC is doing. Wait, I will switch the camera so you can see better. That's actually interesting what the PLC is doing. Look at the LED here, you see? It's dimmed. So it's flashing red, but it's very, very dim. Seems like there's no power there. But the same error we got now as well. So we had a lock, we had and we have comms error now. Okay. And that's how they telescoped out, and got stuck on this position. So we're gonna start with the ground fuses. I think we're gonna look into grounding fuses, and we see what's happening there. So you know the ground fuses is the blue ones here. So in the main fuse box we're gonna check the ground fuses. There's few of them. So that one is gone. The second one was okay. So one fuse is gone. So next, the ground fuse is here at the motor controller. Let's have a look at this one here. 10 amp. That one seems to be okay. So let me plug that in. And another, oh look at this, and another fuse inside the chassis there. So we're gonna check on that, but that's I think what they were talking about. It's blown fuses or melted fuse, not sure. So that's a 20 amp fuse. I wonder where's that coming from. Okay, that's a good to know. So let's see if we have any 20 amp fuses here. That looks like the one 20 amp that been replaced, and this one is good. 20 amp fuse, it's good. Okay, so I'm gonna get the multimeter. We're gonna see some voltages here, and we go from there. So I replaced this ground fuse here, so let's see if that's gonna make any difference. Okay, it looks like a PLC is not starting up. Look at this PLC flashing. Maybe it's a voltage issue to PLC. I need it. Yeah, it could be. So for now I can't see any problems here on this side. So I think I'm gonna try to go under that cover there and see what's happening there, because it's interesting with the lock that we seen the lock at the beginning, and we're having nothing now. But I was looking on this fuse here. That fuse should have a 48 volt, and it does not have that. So that means it's not getting the voltage from the main batteries. So I'm gonna try to see what's going on inside the chassis. Maybe those 20 amp fuse is actually from the inside the chassis. Right, so we are inside the chassis here. Let's see what we got. Ah, okay, so I think I see what's blowing up there. I think this is gonna be the 20 amp. Oh yeah, you see it's got all the black marks on it. Okay, so that's good. Well, it's not good that it's blowing, but it's good that we know which one is it. Can't get this out easily, but if you look at this fuse, so put some light on. I mean, that's a really bad short, I think, because that fuse is not looking great, and now it goes into collection. 3 of them. I wonder, maybe we should try put a new one and see at what conditions it's blowing, or we think we just should go and do resistance check. There is another ground fuse here, so I'm gonna check that quickly, if that's okay. That looks good. Okay, so that looks good. So we know now the problem is with that 20 amp fuse. Okay, and that travels all the way up. So it goes through there and to the base controls. I think that will travel all the way up to this area here. Alright, so let's do a bit more visual inspection there, just to see if there's no damaged cables or something. Alright, so I've got the 20 amp fuse here with me now. I'm gonna put that in, and that's isolated now. So I'm gonna put that 20 amp fuse in, the new one, and we're gonna try to see what's going to happen. Okay, the reason why I'm doing that way, because I want to find out what conditions are needed to blow that fuse, because we don't know when it's blowing. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is, now I'm just gonna switch the machine, or I will go one step at a time. So first I'm gonna go and do the isolator, and next I'm gonna switch the machine on. Okay, so fuse is right there. I think I'm gonna leave the camera here, and that should focus on the fuse in there. Now it's not focusing where it should do. Okay, so camera is on the fuse now. Sorry for echoes inside the chassis. So first step, I'm gonna release isolator. Alright, okay. So, alright, so that blew it right away. I don't know if I got this on camera, but I think I heard a big bang. I seen the flash. So only thing we have to do then is oh yeah. Okay, good. So we know. So the only thing we have to do is to release the main isolator and then blow the fuse. So next step we're gonna do is resistance check to the ground, and as it's positive, we should have a very high resistance. So I put a new fuse in there, as you can see, and the reason why I did it because my multimeter probe doesn't fit in the fuse holder because it's a micro fuse, but I'm using positive onto the supply. So we're not gonna start the power up, we're gonna leave the machine isolated, and I will measure resistance now to the negative first. So the one below is a negative here. So I'm measuring on that one there, and we should have high resistance, and we do have 6 mega ohms, so that's not shorted to the ground here. To the chassis here, I'm gonna just try to get random chassis points as well. Resistance is really high, so it's not actually that it's a short circuit causing that. It's something else. So next thing I would imagine to do is to disconnect the voltage converter, okay? Because here we have a voltage converter. Let me get some light for you. Here behind the control box we have a voltage converter. Okay, this one here. So I think that fuse is feeding 48 volts to this converter. So I will try to disconnect it, and then we're gonna see what is going to happen, okay? If we're gonna have the same issues as before. So let me disconnect that and then we go from there. So voltage converter disconnected. That's the 2 plugs I removed. What we're gonna do now, we're gonna try to start the machine up, or at least pull the isolator out, because we cannot measure anything being shorted onto the positive wire. So we have to, I think, try again what we did before with a new fuse. Pull the isolator out and see if we can narrow down to this converter. Okay, so camera is set on the fuse. I'm gonna switch off the light and I'm gonna try to pull the isolator out, see if that fuse is gonna go again. Okay, 3, 2, 1. I think that just survived. Let me check the fuse, but I think the fuse is good. Yes, I just checked the fuse and the voltage is good, so we don't have a problems with the fuse blowing anymore. And that means the cabling all the way up to here is good. So I think it's actually the problem this unit. So let me try to plug the new one in just for that. So that's a new unit, plug and play. So let's do that. All right, let's do a test together. I'm gonna pull the isolator out. 3, 2, 1. Okay, so that looks like the machine stayed on. No bangs, no flashes. Let's see if we can switch it on. We're having the same problem here as before, but it's not blowing fuse anymore. All right. Okay, what do we do now? We know the fuse is not blowing. I think we may have to recheck the fuses in the fuse box 1, check on the ground fuses, and check on a supply fuse. I'm just gonna measure the voltage now on this fuse. I should have 48 volts on it. So I'm checking a fuse now. Let's see if you can see this. Let's see if I can set my multimeter to show you something. Sometimes even trusty multimeter needs a bit of head banging. All right, so we have so this fuse here, I have a 14 volts coming in, so that's from step down unit. So the voltage on the step down unit is good. I have this fuse here, 14, this fuse here, they're all good except the red one. So I have nothing on the outlet, so I think that's gone. Which it doesn't look like it's gone. But why we get no voltage? Ah, strange. Maybe we have to do a continuity test on it. Let's see in the seat here. I think what's possibly happened is I cannot read the voltage because of the, there's a layer on top. Is a plastic coated terminals, so that's good. Okay, so just be careful. Look, do it again. I have no voltage. I have a voltage, but I think what's actually here is we need to is a layer on. See, now I got it. All right. So when you're measuring voltage, just be careful. That could be a bit misleading, which it was to me. Okay, I will continue checking this fuses. This fuse I expecting to have 48 volts. I have nothing at all, so we're gonna investigate that. But for now, just continue with those fuses and see what's happening. So only thing I'm gonna find is ground fuse gone again. So we're replacing the ground fuse. Let's start the machine up. Okay, so it's actually the problem is that the PLC is not starting up, you see. And on that side, same, dark. Okay. Interesting. I wonder if that will damage the PLC or something here, because why that PLC is doing this. It's like rebooting constantly. And we know we have a good power supply now. Sorry for the noise, but I have to deal with it. So what I've done now, I took a spare PLC, just replacement here, and I wanted just to have a look if that PLC is gonna start up. Alright, so that PLC has started, and now we have different problems here, but that's okay because that's the wrong software on it. But the fact is that it started up and is running. It's flashing green. So I'm kind of suspecting that PLC has gone. I wonder why. Yeah, maybe it's actually that unit here. It was giving 48 volt into the control circuit. Why else that PLC would fail, huh? And those fuses here, to me it looks like it's replacement fuses, but maybe I'm wrong. No, they actually, no, it's the same. Okay, so let me see if I can do some more digging, but I know for sure now the power supply to PLC is good. It's not an issue. And both ends of PLC is flashing, okay? So I'm suspecting is a problem with the PLC here. But we're gonna go, and the SIOPS is going off now. So, okay, we're gonna do more investigation. Let me sort out the PLC now, and then we're gonna do more investigation what else is going on, okay? Maybe it's just a software problem. So I done all the, what I had to do with the PLC, and it seems like it's working now. So I can switch it on, let's see. It comes on. Motor is running, so I think that was a PLC fault. Is a very strange why it has failed. What I suspecting is linked to the voltage converter, okay? And the voltage converter should not feed it 48 volts, but I think that's what may happen. So I think what's happened is that 48 to 12 volt converter has failed, and it may fed at 48 volt to the system. I don't know, yeah. So I will test the machine more. The one interesting thing is, if I disconnect the voltage converter, the machine should work. So we may need to investigate on that side of it. So let me show you what I mean. So I removed the voltage converter now, okay, and the machine should start up. So if I go with the key switch, there we go. It's coming on. Good. Alright, that's coming on. Before I didn't, but maybe that was because of the ground fuse. So that means without the voltage converter, machine running off this 12-volt battery, okay? And if I isolate the battery here, you see it's gone off. So to test the voltage converter, I'm gonna isolate the battery here, so it's fully out. Okay, and I'm gonna switch the machine off, and I'm gonna plug the voltage converter back on. So that is still isolated, you can see, and the machine comes on now, okay? And it comes on because of the voltage converter. So there's two ways to keep this on. It's either way with the voltage converter or the 12-volt battery. And I wonder, is actually that fuse you could prevent feed from the battery. So I remove the ground fuse here, as it was blown before. The machine is on from the voltage converter. Let me disconnect. I'm going to engage the battery back on. The engine start battery. That's tight. So now, yeah, now it's coming on. That's so strange. Before, I'm sure before I didn't do it. It was not coming on before without voltage converter. Interesting. Do you think it's all done all because of that PLC? Shouldn't be. Alright, let's test it a bit more and see where we are, if the machine is gonna work or it's gonna fail again or what's gonna happen. I will keep you updated. So that seems to be working fine. I've been testing for a while now. I reassembled everything. So we've got my converter, PLC mounted on. So everything, it seems to be okay. The only thing I'm not getting the power enough to, and what I'm checking here is inside the chassis. I will show you just a sec. So I'm checking the wiring here now, and what I found now is, look, if I move the wires here, this one here, did you see that? It's something not right in that fuse holder, but it looks quite nice actually, like a lightning. Alright, so I will check on that one just to see what's going on there. We're gonna get that fixed, and it's maybe gonna be it then. So what I found in chassis is actually this bit here. So I think that is a part of that fuse. So the wire has to be screwed on, and then it goes this way, I think. So the spring for the fuse, that's a wire attached to that bit. So it shouldn't be the wire floating in the fuse holder. It should be attached to something. Alright, so that is good. So I reassembled. That's how it goes on the wire, and then it goes there. And then we're gonna go with the spring inside, and then we're gonna put the fuse in it, and that should fix our problem on the F2. So checking again on the F2 here, and now you can see we have a 50-volt supply that's coming from the batteries, which is good. That's what we were expecting. So it was just missing parts in the fuse holder. So been testing for a while now. Everything's working as it should. No problems anymore, and I think it's gonna be just fine. Okay, so I tested all the functions, drive, all the boom functions, run a calibration, because the new PLC had to do the calibration for the angle sensors. But yeah, it's all amazing. I will finish now, and yes, thank you for watching. I hope you find something interesting here, and if you do, then like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.